Hi, Jesse here. It's a nice cold day in Nashville. Hope everyone's having a good October. I wanted to talk about Scourge, the new Path of Exile league starting in a few days. Friday afternoon, my time, Central. And I think it's going to be a good league overall. I think it's going to be positively reviewed. Reminds me of Delirium a little bit. Um, which was a league some time ago that was well received, even though it had major bugs. I really like the mechanic they're introducing. I like the build enabling tools they're providing players. And I also like all the unique items that they've kind of teased us with. Um, so, really, so far, a positive review for me. We'll obviously see how the league itself plays, but I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Longtime Path of Exile player and fan. Um, and I wanted to talk about a few things specifically. One of the big changes they made was to the passive skill tree. They've adjusted it, they've improved it. It looks a little nicer and smoother. They've given it a revamp, an update, visually as well as notables changed and moved around, and they added a new mastery system, which should be exciting. It's new, more content. Um, they also made some pretty significant changes to defenses, how you mitigate ailments, for example, and things like armor and evasion, the way you scale those, and how well they, you know, defend you from enemies. I am planning on playing an Inquisitor as I always do. I love the left side of the tree. We can actually pop into that for just one hot second. Um, I love the Inquisitor Ascendancy. I still think that the Righteous Providence Ascendancy notable is super great. It's by far the best notable for the Inquisitor. It's so good. Um, and I'm just going to start Stormbrand, I expect. Thought maybe I would do Armageddon Brand. I don't really know. We'll see. But I basically am a blank slate right now. I really don't know what I'm going to play. I don't know what I'm going to try or test out. There's just so many new options that are available as a result of the league mechanic. So I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. Um, there are a couple of mechanics I wish that they touched on in the balance pass. And I like to talk about balance a lot. The brittle mechanic, which I've talked about in a past video, is an ailment that provides crit base to your spells, attacks, whatever gives brittle. The enemy has it, and you crit them a lot more. I think it's a broken mechanic. I think it's way overtuned. I think it's too easy to get, and I think it is too strong for the cost of or the barrier of entry. Um, and it feels a little bit like a necessity. I mean, I'm already thinking about, well, I guess I have to use brittle in my build just because of how strong it is. It's really overpowered. I think it's the current strongest individual mechanic in the game. Like it makes builds like S tier, really. And some people will argue it's easy enough to cap your crit chance, so maybe not. But I would love to hear people's take on if they think it's balanced, because last league, I really only had like 150 cold damage. Like, I had barely any cold damage on my spell hit, and I still capped the brittle against uber bosses. So I just think it should be looked at. I really wish it was looked at. The other mechanic I wish they looked at in the balance pass is the Hydrosphere mechanic, specifically with the Eye of Winter skill gem. Some other streamers and people have already mentioned this. It is a broken mechanic. It's bugged. It's busted. It basically gives you double damage for free. And I think that if if I was the GGG balance team, I probably would have tried to address that concern. Um, That and Brittle are the only two that really jump out at me. I'm sure there are other things. But I think overall, some of the balance changes they made to the skill tree, for example, were really good and constructive. And I think that they're opening up a lot of build diversity, regardless of the fact that those top tier builds are all going to just be using Brittle and Marylenes. At least I think so, because of how easy it is to cap your crit. Regardless of that fact, I still think build diversity will be pretty good this league. And I think that for someone like myself who really enjoys the process of building a character almost as much as playing the game itself, I just like, exploring my options and investigating and kind of taking different paths on my build and just seeing where the game takes me. I think this is definitely a league for me. And it adds a lot of depth and complexity to a game that is already very, very complex. So, I think that's really all I have. Hope you all have a nice week. I will be playing this expansion this weekend. Really looking forward to it. So you all have a nice rest of your day. Bye.